Hey guys, in the last part, we went ahead and created the theme and added the header, the nav bar. So all of this stuff up here is now dynamic and integrated with WordPress, but this is all just static HTML. Alright, so let's go back to our index.php page and go down to where we have this container content div, and we have these different blog posts. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is we have 3 article tags with blog posts. I'm going to delete 2 out of the 3. So that one and that one. Alright. And then I'm just going to cut these paragraphs down. We'll remove that one and make this one much shorter just so we can get it all in the page or in view. Okay, so this div goes to that. So what we want to do is right in this main block div, we want to create our post loop. Alright, so first thing we'll do is check for posts. So we're going to say if have posts, and then we're going to end it after the ending article tag. Okay, so if there are posts, actually we'll put an else as well. Okay, and if there isn't, then we're going to say PHP echo, we're going to use the WP auto P function, and then in here we can put the text that we want. We'll just say sorry, no posts were found. Alright, and then up here we're going to create our while loop. So let's go right here, open up PHP and put in a while loop. Alright, and we're going to say while have posts. Alright, and then we want to go and put a colon here and say the underscore post. Just like that, and then down under the article tag we're going to end that while loop. Okay, so it's going to loop through the post, and for every one it finds, it's going to spit this out. Alright, now we need to make this dynamic. Now for the title, what we can do is say PHP the title. Okay, and for the meta, I'm going to just leave the meta for now. I just want to test it out. So let's go ahead and just replace this paragraph right here with PHP the content. Alright, we'll save that and let's go and reload. Okay, so let's see, we're on the about page. Let's go back to the home page, which we don't have a link for. Alright, and we also want this to go to the home page. If I click on it, it takes us to index.html. So let's fix that. We're going to go up here where we have this link to index.html. We're going to replace that. We'll say PHP home URL, and we'll pass in slash. Okay, so now if we go and reload, we click on here. Why is that happening? Alright, so we have to echo it out. Okay, so if we look at these posts, we get blog post 1, blog post 2. Now, you probably don't have these posts. You probably have a hello world. If that's showing up, then that's fine. Alright, if you want to match your content to mine, just go ahead and create 2 posts. One, blog post 1, I just have some sample content, and then blog post 2. Okay, I also have some categories if you want to create some categories. It doesn't really matter what they are. We're not really we're not really dealing with the specific content. It's just for sample content, really. All right, so the meta info right here is still static, and so is the button. If I click that, it doesn't do anything. So let's go ahead and fix that. So back in our post loop, let's go to where we have P class meta, and I'm just going to separate this a little bit. Okay, because we need to make some of this stuff dynamic. All right, so the date and time right here, let's get rid of that, and then we're going to put in PHP. And then there's a couple things. You could use the date, but I want to be more specific and have the date and time, so I'm going to use the time. Alright, so if we just keep it like that, let's see what it gives us. Okay, so it gives us just the time, 4:05 p.m. So I want the date as well. So what I'm going to do is we can format this however we want by just adding some parameters. Alright, so we want FJ, we want the year, and then we want the time. Let's say G:. Okay, and this pertains to the parameters of the PHP date function. Alright, and if you don't know how to format the time, you can go to php.net and just search for the date function, and that should give you all the formatting options. Alright, but we're going to do it like that, because now if I reload, it's going to say the date, okay, the month, the day, the year, and then also the time. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we also want the username of the user that created the post. So for that, we can just put in PHP the author. Okay, if we go ahead and reload, you can see we still get admin because that's the actual user's name. Now we want to be able to click on this name and then have it bring us to all the posts archived from that user. Okay, so that's pretty easy to do as well. We just want to put a link around this. Okay, and then in the link, we're going to say PHP echo get author posts URL. And then in there, we're going to pass in get the author meta, and then just pass in ID. Alright, so let's save that. And then if you can see that it's now a link. We can't see it. We'll have to change the CSS. But if I click on it, it takes us to whatever that user name is, author / and then the name. And it'll show you all the posts from that user. Let's go into the CSS real quick and see where we have our meta class, which is, where is it? Right here. Okay, so let's grab that, and we're going to just add on a, and then we'll set color to white. Okay, so now that's fixed. Now we can also get the categories that the post is in, and we can put those on here as well. So let's go back to index, and we're going to go, let's see, we're going to go right after the ending A tag of what we just did of the author. And let's just put in a pipe character and then open up some PHP tags. Actually, before the PHP tags, we're going to say posted in, and then we want all the categories. Alright, so there's quite a bit of code we need to do here to get this how we want. First thing, we're going to set a categories variable. We're going to set it to get the category. Okay. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to give us an array of categories that this post is in. Alright, now we can't just take the array and display it, so we have to loop through it. So before we do that, let's create a variable, and we're going to call this separator. Alright, and we want them to be separated by a comma and a space. So we're going to put that, and then we're going to initialize a variable called output. We'll just set it to nothing for now. Alright, so now what we need to do is check for categories. Okay, so we'll say if categories, then we want to use a for each loop. Okay, we're going to say for each category as categories as category. Alright, and then in here we're going to just append to that output variable. So to append we can use dot equals. Okay, now each category is going to have a link as well. So let's say ahref. Okay, we're going to have to do a little bit of concatenation here. So we'll use dots, and then we're going to say get category link. And we need to pass in a parameter. We're going to say we're going to take that category variable and call term underscore ID. Alright, and then we'll go back into our string. Okay, so we want to go right after the double quote here. And then we're going to concatenate again. And we're going to say category cat underscore name. Okay, then we want our closing A tag. And let's see, we're also going to add on I know the concatenation gets a little confusing. Here we want our separator. Alright. And then down after the if statement here, we're just going to echo, and I'm going to wrap this in the trim function, make it a little neater. We're going to say output, and then the second parameter will be the separator. Alright, so let's save that and see what we get. Okay, so now you can see it says posted in business. This one is posted in uncategorized. Now if I click business, it takes us to category/business. And you can see only this post is here. This is the only one in business. Okay, so that's working perfectly. Now the last thing we want to do is we want this text to be shorter, and we also want the read more button to work. So what we can do is go where we put the content, and to make it shorter we can just change it to the excerpt. Alright, and if we look at that, now we have much shorter text. Now by default I think it's 55 words, but we can change that if we want to go to functions PHP. And let's say function excerpt length, and all we need to do here is just return a number. Let's say we wanted 25, and then we just need to create a filter. We're going to say add filter. Okay, add action means you're adding something, add filter means you're changing something. Okay, so we want excerpt length, and actually, you know what, let's call this set excerpt length, and we'll also add our prefix of ADV. Alright, and then we can actually just take that, put that here. Okay, save it and reload, and now you can see we get 25. Alright, now for the read more to work, that's pretty easy. We're going to go down to where we have the link, and we just want to, in here, say PHP the permalink. Okay, then we'll go and reload, click on the read more. That brings us to that particular post. Now this obviously isn't what we want. We want all the content here. We're going to add a comment form and all that good stuff. But we're going to get to that later. Okay, we have to actually create a separate template for that. So in the next video we'll do that. I'll also show you how we can add a featured image to our posts as well. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video.